Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke, and always to my right,
I know what it is, man. Mr. No Cool nickname. Duran, we back in the building with another one.
we are, and we're back with another El Cheapo, if you want to
Absolutely.
call it that.
Yeah,
We've
man.
done one before, and I think that one was with some other spirit, if I
Yeah.
recall correctly. But today we're going to do a bourbon whiskey cheapo, and cheapo cigar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's not knocking any of it,
No,
but
we got some good bottles and we got a good stick. It's a house stick.
it is.
From
It
one of the
is.
lounges that we visit, Smokey Bear.
Yeah, man.
But we got some good stuff about to happen.
Yeah. So the cigar, like Duran just said, is a house cigar from Smoky what is it? Smoky Bear
Smokey Bear.
Cigars over in Blue Ridge, Georgia.
Yep.
And if you have not checked them out, you really should. It's a really great place. Um, it's an old converted
Barbecue
barbecue
restaurant.
like log cabin barbecue restaurant.
Yeah.
They converted into a cigar place.
Yep.
It's really cool, man. Um, I, to be honest, I can't remember exactly what this particular one is. They have several different ones that
Yep.
come in this newspaper, and I think this is like a Spanish or Mexican newspaper because it's definitely not English. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it's got a cafe aroma, 100% cafe, you know, organico. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if it pertains to the cigar
I don't think
itself.
it does. I think this
I
is
think
just
this is just
random.
the wrapper
Yeah,
itself. That's on the cigar.
right. And
Um,
your wrapper part even looks different. Like you have some green on there. Like
yeah.
mine's just straight up, white,
Okay.
plain white,
Okay.
whatever. But these I don't remember exactly what I paid for this, but
Less than
it
$5.
was definitely less than
I'm
five
gonna go with
dollars.
that. Right. Less than $5. I think
Absolutely,
it was sub $4.
I think it was.
But
And it's been a little while. I got one of these from someone else that was in our group that wanted to share, and so that's what prompted me to get this. This one appears to be a Maduro. How about yours?
oh, definitely, bro. I wouldn't buy it if it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's not true. I smoke other things other
Oh,
than
and
Maduro.
it's a closed foot.
Mine's is yes it is. Mine's a closed foot too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't know what a closed foot is, what they do after they put the wrapper on, they leave a little bit on
Of
the
the,
end here and
yep.
then fold it in. So it's an uncut foot, um, unbanded, obviously. But let's get into our spirits for the day. So I brought the JW Dant,
Uh-huh.
which is I believe something you can't get in Tennessee,
I think you're correct.
and one of our group members, brought it to us
Mm-hmm.
from Kentucky, I believe. I don't know. Is this a bottle and bond? This is a bottle and bond, so it's
At
100
least
proof, 4 years, at
4 years,
least 4 years,
100
yeah.
proof.
So, and if we haven't said it already, these are both criteria bottles.
Correct.
Um,
So revisit the criteria. It means it has to be at least 4 years old, at least 100 proof, and it has to come in under $40.
that's right.
Not with tax. So
Right.
$39.99 MSRP is the max we can go for the criteria bottle.
That's right. And then you have our other one.
Yeah.
Which,
So mine's is a little bit different. This is a Old Granddad 114. It is a allocated bottle.
right.
Surprisingly
Unfortunately.
enough, it runs about $25, but it is allocated. It's 114 proof, and I cannot remember who makes it right at this moment. We discussed this, and I do not remember who makes it.
A lot of times it'll say right on the bottle.
Well, my eyes ain't good, so I can't read this little bitty writing back here. But either way, we'll get it and put it in the comments or put it on the screen for you.
Yeah, see, this one says it. This one's a Heaven Hill product.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember who makes the Old Granddad.
I want to say Beam.
Okay.
I think it was Beam.
Let me see if it says
Here,
it on
see
the
if you can
bottle.
see that back there on the back.
No, this says that they make it, that they distill and bottle it by Old Granddad Distillery Company. So,
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, if I'm reading that right,
Hey, and
they do not source,
they do not
or
source it, and that's
it's
good
not from
stuff.
another distillery or whatever. But maybe it's owned by like Beam or something. I'll try to look that up.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it for you one way or
So
another.
$25.
$25.
I believe this one was like $17.
Yeah, like it's sub 20. So we in there with the criteria bottles.
That's right. That's right.
I think you have to go to Kentucky to get that one.
I don't think you have to, but that they do sell it there.
Right.
I'm sure that they sell it in other states. But
okay.
For whatever reason, they don't sell it.
They
in
don't
Tennessee.
sell it here in Tennessee, which is where we are. The old Granddad is just allocated, which means it's hard to find.
Now they do make a smaller or lower proof Granddad, right?
Yes,
Don't
they make
a bottle and bond.
They make a bottled and bond.
Okay.
Which we need to try to get on the
Right.
podcast as well.
Which should be cheaper.
It should be.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Let's see what that's all about. All right, let's cut into this. How long have you been hanging on to yours, just out of curiosity?
The most recent time we went to Smokey Bear, because that was the first time I got to go. I think you guys had been maybe 2 times before that, and so I got to go.
So several months.
On the last one. It's been a couple of months.
Yeah. So
it was when you bought this beautiful new humidor that you have sitting in front of me that everybody can't see.
For the wife, the humidor's for the wife. It's not for me. My humidor is plenty big enough. I don't need a bigger one. Yeah, I think I've had this for about 3 months or so. So it's been resting. Get into this.
I can tell you, it feels like it has a tight draw for me.
Even though it's a closed foot, and it that can't happen with a closed foot. Maybe when you light it, it'll open up.
Hopefully, it'll open up a little bit.
I'm gonna go ahead. This one has a really good draw, considering it has a closed foot. So let's see. So lighting a closed foot is a little bit different. You kind of want to.
See, now this want to start with me. This is why you got to bring multiples. Let's see if this one goes on the first try. Ah, there we go.
I like to kind of burn off the closed foot.
Okay, we got some. All right, hold on now. My lighter's having a
Oh goodness, he got it turned up a little too high.
All I did was refill it today.
Here, you just use mine.
We got another.
Oh, okay. We got 3,
brother.
He was prepared.
Got 3. Got 3.
Hey, that was really nice from the light. Man, the first thing I got, kind of like a smoker, like the smoke from smoking meat. So like a hickory or a cherry or whatever. Like
I was thinking like a real earthy, got a real earthy taste to it.
And to be honest, we don't actually know that we have the same cigar. So
we definitely probably don't.
Yeah, I don't know that we have the same cigar. He has, I think he has 8 different ones that come in the little newspaper, and you have to ask him which one's which. And
I tell you what, though, like, listen, it's a top-notch cigar for $4. And I know it's just the footlight, but like the flavors right off the bat, man, like super flavorful cigar.
Like, and it's not harsh. Some of the cheaper cigars are kind of harsh. They're using cheaper tobaccos or what have you. No, it's very, very flavorful. Like, the smoke production is already on point.
Oh yeah,
I'm loving that.
I still think it's a little bit tighter draw than I would like.
Yeah, mine's perfect.
See, I can't cut too much more, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm getting good combustion, so.
All right, well, let's get into these bourbons. I think they're both bourbons, right?
Mine is a bourbon, yes.
Okay. So, sporting a screw top. Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, man, we're going to go for it. I'm going to go with the Dant, too.
All right. I mean, it's just, got the classic bourbon aroma to it, right? It's a little ethanol-y. I'm getting more ethanol than anything else on the aroma.
You can see it's a little lighter on the color, right?
Like, I can't even get my nose in the glass because it's so strong.
Yeah, it's definitely there. It's definitely there.
Which is kind of crazy because it's only 100 proof. Like
But so we know for a fact it's a little bit younger than some of the things that we drink, right?
it is, and it's
Um,
really cheap.
yeah.
Like cost wise, I mean, not that it's a cheap tasting bourbon.
So it's warm for a 100. Like when I swallowed, like it was in my nose, right? Like so, the ethanol was definitely in my nose when I swallowed.
But I think that's the only down that I can give it.
It's very flavorful. It
It's
tastes good.
actually pretty flavorful
It
for a
tastes good.
100 proof $17 bottle. Like
It tastes very good.
like
Like
that's
there's a sweetness right off the rip. Um,
like if it wasn't ethanol-y, this would be a great pour,
mhm.
especially for the price.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I
So
don't
I'm kind of
disagree.
curious, like letting this sit in the glass. Maybe some of that ethanol will evaporate or something, and it won't taste so ethanol-y.
Again, so even after the draws, I've got some smoke coming out of the top. So even though it's tight to me, it means the combustion is right, right? Like so, the smoke is coming all the way up through the cigar, even without me drawing on it. So that's like Jason said in one of our other episodes. That's a very good sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever makes this for them didn't do a bad job at all because, like, I mean, it looks like the burn is fairly good. The construction on it, not bad at all. Um, there's nothing for me to talk about with the band because there isn't one.
Yeah.
So it's unbanded, but I don't mind it so much.
No, I mean it's pretty good, and to be fair, I mean like it's hard to complain about a cigar when you're only paying a few bucks for it.
That's it.
Like, I see people complaining about like factory smokes, and it's like, dude, you paid like $2 for the cigar. Like, if you're having issues with it, just put it down and grab another one. Like,
That's my favorite thing about like a cigar this inexpensive. Like, let's just say like something happens and I have to leave early.
yeah,
No issues with just tossing it in the ashtray and rolling out, right?
yeah. Like a lot of people would have this as like their yardstick,
Mm-hmm.
or like if
Get
they're
out on the lawnmower.
yeah,
And it's plenty strong. Like it's a medium bodied cigar with
yeah.
good flavor.
So here I am saying, don't complain about a $2 cigar, but I am going to give a complaint.
Okay.
This particular one, like I'm not getting great combustion, so I'm drawing, but I'm not getting much.
Okay.
And so I'm finding that I'm having to draw 3 or 4 times to actually get a full draw. But the draw itself is nice. And then you have a tight draw, and are you getting good draws? Like, yeah, see, you're getting a decent amount of smoke
I mean,
there.
it's not what I want, right? It's not the amount of smoke that I want. But I feel like the combustion is okay. I don't feel like I'm not getting what I'm supposed to. But we talked about this recently. We're both double draws.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
right.
having to do it on this. Like, I'm having to do 3 draws just
Okay,
to.
so that's excessive. But when I say double draw, what that means is instead of us just one draw on the cigar, we
Mhm.
both draw and then draw again before taking it away. So
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to give some critique, right? We give every cigar critique. But, like I said, at the end of the day, this is a, $3, $4 cigar, whatever it was.
I may be getting maybe some tunneling inside there,
Okay.
just because like it doesn't look like one area is lit very well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. We'll keep working at it and see what happens. We'll go back to this bourbon here. Like I was pleasantly surprised at how good this actually tastes. Um, and my palate was warmed up before this, so we had something that was much higher proof before doing this. So there's a weediness that I get from this, but it's a sweet finish to it as well.
Yeah, and the ethanol is definitely tamed as it sat in the glass.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So this is one that definitely benefits from letting it rest in the glass for a little bit. Man, that it's just really flavorful. Like it's kind of surprising. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that some of these companies are putting out a cheaper product, and it's still a good
Very good
product.
product. Yeah,
So like it's just it's something to be said that you can put out a $17 bottle and it's actually pretty good.
yeah. Like realistically, I think you could put that bottle in a decanter, and people would be surprised at the cost.
Yep.
Like if you took the labels off, they didn't see the screw top,
Yep.
right? You put that in the decanter and gave it to some people.
Absolutely.
I think they'd be surprised at how good it really is, um, which is always a good sign of a quality bourbon. So they've done something right. I don't know how long they've been making it, but they've refined it enough to where it's pretty good.
Man, I'm still getting this like
The truth be told, I think I'm having the same issue as you.
yeah, I mean you're look, this cheap of a cigar, you're not gonna get like a perfect burn.
Nah, man,
Like nothing about it is gonna be perfect.
you got to roll with the punches. Like
Yeah.
if you decided to smoke this,
Like you didn't get a $15 cigar.
no,
Don't think that you're getting a $15 cigar for $3.
right.
That's not happening.
It's just like don't expect that these are premium bourbons, right? Like
Yeah.
we're not. What we're trying to do is introduce you to bourbons, whiskeys that you can buy at an affordable price that are still enjoyable, right? Like I don't think we would have a problem drinking either one of these bourbons, right? Like on any given day.
Well, and we're
Um,
drinking them neat. Like you
yeah,
don't they don't
they
require
don't
mixing.
need to be mixed.
Yeah.
There are several whiskeys out there on the market that I can't even go near that are more expensive than
Yep.
that JW Dant, and I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, I mean, so like while it might be bottom shelf as a neat pour, like it's still a neat pour.
Yeah, like I'm
And that says something because like you say, there's some of the big brands out there that like you really can't drink them neat. Like you got to drink them over ice or
yeah.
mix them or something. Like
So see, looking at my cigar right now, I don't see.
yeah, you're not getting a real even burn. Um,
Smoke production just cut down massively. I mean, it's still. Let's see. Try to light a little more here.
and I think you kind of have to smoke these a little different. I think this type of cigar this just expects you to puff on
Baby
it
it a
more
little bit.
often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no,
gotta kind
you
of
got to
baby
baby
it.
it. You might have to do some touch ups and
But see,
you
now you
know
can see that end is glowing again.
yeah. There's some trade offs. I mean, you bought a $3 cigar, and that's what you're gonna get. But again, there's nothing wrong with a $3 cigar. Like if that number one, if that's where you are, or number two, if you are in a situation like you said where
Yeah.
you might need to put it down, you're not going to be hurt because it's a $3
No,
cigar.
no, I would never feel bad about tossing this to the side and going to do whatever it is I need to do. Again, I didn't come into it with a whole lot of expectations, right? I bought it to support the local lounge because I would think if they're able to sell it at $3-4, even $5, then they
Yeah,
understand what the product is.
yeah. And I don't know if you remember, but we did his premium house blend
Yes.
on the podcast,
Uh-huh.
and I like it so much that I bought a mazel of it. Um, and it's just a really really great cigar, and I think it's like $6 or $7 or something like that.
And that's their premium.
That's their premium. Like has a band on it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like even his most expensive house blend is only like $7, and it's phenomenal. Like it smokes like a $10-12 cigar.
So I feel like
Is yours soft? Is the cigar itself kind of squishy?
now,
Yeah, I don't know if you saw me earlier. I was doing this, kind of feeling on it.
so
Like
but so here's the thing. So
it's a little squishy.
it's squishy down through here, and it's extremely hard
Ah,
up here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm sure that it was some. I don't know. I don't want to say a starter roller, less experienced roller. probably rolling these, so they're getting that person at a cheaper price. I don't know. I don't
It,
even know if that's the case, but
it wouldn't surprise me if I got to the end of this cigar and found that there might be something, you know, a leaf or a stem or something in there that's, you know, causing some issues.
mm-hmm. Like they probably don't draw test these.
I would doubt that.
I mean,
I would doubt that.
I'm sure it goes through less steps than your more premium cigars, but I mean that's the point, right? It's a cheaper cigar.
But now I feel like I am working hard.
Yeah, like I'm having to constantly puff on this thing.
Yeah, man. Like, and I still don't feel like I've got a good light. Um, you know, it's just not giving what I wanted to. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
that's surprising because I feel like the last time I had one of these, it smoked really well.
So I want to get more in what you just said. So the Drew Estate Factory Smokes is a really, really good budget cigar. I don't think we've done one on the podcast. Probably should. But it's literally like $1.50. I mean, the Mazov 20 is like $35.
Yeah.
So that's almost $2, I guess. But
Yeah.
like, I can tell you, I've smoked dozens of those, and they are inconsistent as all get out.
Right.
So we're having not a great experience with this one,
But the
but I
next
could probably grab one right next to it,
and it'd be great.
and it's great.
Yeah.
So the inconsistencies are much higher with these
Don't
cheaper
disagree.
cigars.
I don't disagree.
So, if you're smoking a cheaper cigar and you don't have a great experience, try to get at least one more, give it a try. I mean, if you have the same exact experience, that might be the cigar itself.
So if if you guys pay attention, right? Like when I draw on this now,
You're having to do what I was just doing, which is like 3 or 4 draws, like because I see it light up.
but
But
very little smoke.
It's just not
So
combusting
the cigar
very well.
itself is it's smoking. I'm just not. But hey, nothing wrong with that.
I mean, at the end of the day, we want to bring you guys all kinds of stuff, and the cheaper stuff has a place.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing wrong with getting this cheaper stuff. Like, I'm gonna have to touch it up again.
All right, so I'm rinsing my glass. Then I'm gonna go do this Old Granddad 114. Just so you know, make sure you guys drink responsibly, right? Like you'll see me rinsing my glass with water, but I have had a ton of water today. In between episodes, we tend to not drink and drink water. You'll see us pick up the water glasses several times. So
Yeah, it's important to stay hydrated when you're drinking spirits.
and know your limits, man. Right? Like, please.
Right.
Luckily, we're at Jason's home lounge, so it's not
Yeah.
like I have to run out of here, any given moment. So
All right, so let's go with this old granddad here. Kind of curious to try the. Is this a cork or it's a cork? Okay. Kind of curious to try the bottled and bond against this, because I seem to recall enjoying this pour.
it's surprisingly good for what it is.
So, do we know that it's allocated because of the supply or the demand? Like, do we know that at all?
Couldn't tell you. To be
Okay.
completely honest.
Okay.
We just happened to remember we were at the store specifically looking for
Yes.
criteria bottles.
Yes.
And our guy at Red Hot, I mentioned that Old Granddad is a criteria bottle, and he was like, I have some. So he was able to get us a bottle. I had never had it before. I had seen it multiple times, but I had just never gone to the bottle. That is a hell of a cork.
Yeah. Well, and I think I had never had it either until you had gotten it, and I think just simply because of, how do I say this? Like it's touted as a bottom shelf bourbon, and so like I'm a little leery about bottom shelf bourbons,
I get it.
because a lot of them are not that good. Like, and you know, I shouldn't do that, right? I
We
should,
got to try it all, man.
yeah, I
That's
should
the
give it a
point.
shot. You know,
Here's what I'll say about this.
this doesn't smell proofy at all.
No. So in comparison,
Wow.
at 114 proof, it's the ethanol is next to non-existent.
Wow. How about that?
So already we can comfortably say at 17 versus 25 there's a difference. Um, hmm.
Hmm. Hey, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm getting all the stages right there at the end. I got the little bit of dryness, a little oakiness from the tannins. Like it was sweet on the front end.
Bro, I think my cigar is giving up.
so,
Like it's lit, but
so I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think we've ever talked about it on the podcast, but I have on occasion when I'm having trouble with a cigar, like gone in and
cut.
and
Yeah.
literally just cut the lid end off.
Yeah.
And then just relight it.
Relight it. Um, Again, I still have that extreme. So I mean, it's rock hard. Pause.
See, you beat me
Been a
to it.
minute.
You beat me to it.
Caught myself.
I was actually going to say something else, but
Yeah, I'm getting no smoke production, bro.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I
none.
mean, look, nothing. So I mean, sometimes sometimes this happens, and like you said, you got to baby the hell out of the thing, right? So I'm going to say I'm going to relight it again.
Like, and the problem is so I can see that there's combustion happening,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the cherry's lit.
Yeah, but it's inconsistent, right? So it was the same thing with me, but there was nothing on the outside, and that's not because I'm not smoking it. It's just not burning well.
Right.
It could be that this cigar wants a drier environment. Like I keep my humidor at 70. This might want it at 60 or 65.
So I was gonna say
you know?
mine's is at like 64.
Okay, and you're still having trouble.
I'm still having some issues.
Wow.
Um, and I'll be completely honest. At the amount of issues that I'm having at the moment, realistically, for me, it's probably would have already been tossed. Right.
Fair enough.
I probably would have went to something else just because I'm not gonna fight this thing for another hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like just I'm not. Uh, and it's no knock on them. Like Jason said, it with a cigar this inexpensive, right? Like you might have this one and it'd be full of issues. But I've had one previously. I know I bought several when I purchased them, and the one prior to this, no issues whatsoever. Smoked
Gotcha.
it, had a great experience. This one just not doing it for me. Um,
And
so,
that's just the nature of the cheaper cigar.
yeah, comes with the territory.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm literally drawing on it.
You're just gonna have to do a full relight. Like that's what I had to do.
But I mean,
I know it's lit, but like the only thing you can really do is just kind of knock off what's on there so you don't burn ash. It'll taste like crap.
but I mean, it's a hard cherry too. So
Yeah. Like I've even gone to the point of where like I knocked the cherry off.
yeah, I mean,
Like yeah.
that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, well, so the cherry's hard.
All right, let's do this again. Let's see where we at.
So Duran knocked the cherry off. He's gonna see how small the cherry was? Like it was so small. The cherry should be like a good half inch into the cigar. Like it should be much bigger. And so you're just having combustion issues. That's all.
My crackhead lighter. Don't fuck around and point this at your face. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little further here and
but the flavors are still really good.
It is. That's the bad part. Like you want to smoke this cigar.
Like I'm still getting that, like, mesquite is the best way I can describe it. Like that mesquite flavor that you get when, on in the meat or whatever, like that extra flavor you get. That's what I'm getting from this.
still just not a good draw,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yes.
Hey, it happens from time to time, man.
It does.
It happens from time to time. No hard feelings. But what I can tell you is this type of situation can quickly sour the mood on smoking, right? Um, I'm gonna give it another few draws, but you guys may see me light something else.
Yeah, we may have to put these down, and that's it is
I mean,
what it
luckily
is.
we're close to the end of the episode, so
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Like I've had these before, where you know there's the cherry, and like way back here, it's hot.
Yeah,
Like the
like
cigar is
and
just
that's
hot.
kind of what I'm dealing with.
I mean, this one's not so much, but I've had little cheaper cigars where you're way back here, and it's like super hot.
See what you feel there.
What? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely warm.
So
Yeah. So again, cheaper cigar. Sometimes
it happens.
you're not going to be able to smoke it. Like it's just not going to be smokable, and you'll have to just put it down.
Got a little more smoke that time, so we'll keep going and see what happens.
Yeah. See nothing.
But thoughts on the old Granddad 114?
I really enjoy the old granddad like that. I hate that it's allocated.
Yeah,
Man, that sucks because like that's something I could easily have on the regular.
it would be like if I could get it all the time, it'd probably be my everyday bottle.
Yeah, like that's really nice. I love the proof on it. It's got a nice little sweetness to it, a little dry, oaky. Um, you're not getting a whole lot of other flavors. I don't get like any of the kind of fruitiness or any of that sort of stuff, but it's just a classic bourbon flavors.
It's like all of the things you want from a bourbon.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's very well balanced, high enough proof to keep you entertained, enough flavors to keep you entertained. Um, I'd be hard pressed to find another bottle at that price point that I think is better. Maybe the same, right? But better, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the price point is what kind of keeps you there, right?
Yeah.
Because in order to get better, you got to go higher.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I'd be interested to try the bottled and bond and see how that compares. I mean, I'm guessing it's the same stuff, just proof down. Or, well, no, I guess it's not because it's bottled and bond.
It's bottled in bond, so
So
it would have a completely different.
I mean, it's probably the same mash bill, but it's one distilling
Yeah.
season, right? And then I guess they're blending. I don't know. That'd be interesting to try. But I don't hate the Dant either.
No,
I mean,
definitely not. I will say the old Granddad is noticeably better, right?
Yes.
It's noticeably better. But I wouldn't turn down either port, right? Like if we were out and about, we're at a friend's house and he pulled out either bottle, I'd be comfortable with saying, hey, this is pretty good. I don't mind having it. It's a bottle that I wouldn't have an issue sharing with somebody, but.
And like at that price, I mean, you could basically drink as much as you want.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to hurt the wallet.
No, not even a little bit. Right?
I mean, so it's a shame they don't sell it here.
Well, it has not been often on an episode that we've had this much trouble with a cigar. There's been a handful, maybe not a handful.
To be fair, this is the cheapest cigar we've ever done.
That's not true.
What?
That is not true.
What did we do that was cheaper?
There was a Cuban.
Oh, well, okay. I guess I wasn't going to count. I don't know. I don't remember what I paid for those, but yeah,
they
it
were
was the
sub. I want to say
they were cheap. You're right.
They were super cheap.
It was the Jose Piedro.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. And we had, I think we ended up putting it down on the episode.
We totally did. We threw it out.
Yeah,
this is better than that.
Well, yeah, I can at least draw through this. That thing was
This is
so.
you couldn't even draw on that cigar. Like it was a nightmare experience. Like eh. All right, let's give our final thoughts, man.
So, final thoughts. If you're gonna go cheap, I think you need to understand like kind of what compromises that you're accepting. That sometimes that cigar might not smoke the way you want it,
Right.
right? So you might have to just put it down and try another one.
Mhm.
I'm sure that plenty of you out there have your like go-to cheapo where you would say the same thing. Like, yeah, I've had a couple here and there where they don't work right, and I got to put them down.
Mhm.
But 80% of them are great,
Yeah,
or
I
for what
agree.
for what they are, and I think that's where this one falls because I'm with you. I've had one of these before, and it was fine. So if you're going to go this route, just make sure you try multiples. On the bourbons, man, they do not disappoint. Like these two are one of the like top two criteria bottles I think that we've ever done.
I agree.
Um, you know, and we've had some really good ones. So I'm gonna say probably top 10. You
Oh,
know,
shit.
like I
So
don't know
the
about
the
top
JW Dant
five.
might fall a little bit out of my top five.
Mm-hmm.
The old granddad would definitely be in the top five. The JW Dant wouldn't be far behind it. I don't know how many criteria bottles we've done at this point. I want to say
We've done
12,
15 or 20.
15 or 20. Okay.
Yeah. So
So the Dant would fall slightly out of the top five. The 114, it might be in the top three for me, thinking of the ones that I can think of. Because,
until I give them the list.
well, Wild Turkey 101 is on, uh,
Yeah.
is at the top of the heap for me
Right.
on criteria bottles.
Yep.
I don't think you can beat that bottle
I
for
mean,
what it
so
is.
we're gonna take allocation and price out of the mix,
Yeah,
right? These are all equally,
right. Allocation doesn't
whatever.
matter.
So I mean, like Taylor's on that list.
That's not fair.
I
Forgot about that.
mean, I'm just throwing one out there. The Taylor's on that list. The Knob Creek Nine's on that list.
Here's the problem. There's a whole lot of stuff on that list.
There's a whole lot of
Weller's
stuff.
on that list.
Weller's on that list.
Uh,
The green label, yeah.
which I'm not 100% sure we've done on the podcast.
I don't know no. So I guess it's not on the list yet, but it needs to get there.
So, but for me, because Wild Turkey 101 is just so readily available, it's so very good for what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all day long, $25 a bottle, um, on every liquor store shelf that you walk into. Um, I just it's at the top of the list for me because I know anywhere I go, like
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to take a trip to New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bourbon is one of those things that are hit or miss in New York,
Right.
but I know I can walk into any liquor store in
And
New
get
York and
turkey.
find Wild Turkey 101, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to pay roughly around the same price, $25, $27 for it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be mad about drinking it.
Nope.
Okay. So that's why it stays at the top of my list. The is it Dublin Dice or Tumbling Dice?
Tumbling Dice.
Tumbling Dice.
Yep.
Top of my list as
Yeah,
well.
that was a great one. I wish I could find that bottle again. I'd like to get another one.
Mm-hmm. So, and then that old granddad, I think, is 3.
So
if I'm taking the Taylor out, if I'm taking this, if we're talking E.H. Taylor, it skyrockets to the top. Period. That's where it's at. It's number 1. But yeah. Anyway, I was supposed to be giving my final thoughts. This is a great cigar for the price point.
Yes.
Because I can say that because I've had one that didn't give me any issues. So if that was the case with this, I would be totally great with smoking this cigar. As far as the two spirits, the JW Dant is phenomenal for a sub $20 bottle. They could charge more for that if they wanted to. Please don't, but they could. The old granddad 114, it's a terrible travesty that it is allocated because it's a great bottle for $25. And if that bottle was readily available on a regular basis, it would probably be my number 1 go-to on a daily basis.
I think I might agree with you on that. Like there might be one or two others that I say
That would be
that I may put in a rotation,
right.
but yeah, I agree with you. That's a really enjoyable pour.
It's super good, super good. So much so that for $25 and how hard it is to find, I can't drink it on a regular. Like it's
Yeah,
it hasn't made a whole bunch of appearances anywhere.
which,
So
which is just crazy, right? I mean, when you think about like what it is, yeah,
yeah. But all right. That being said, man, y'all know what it is. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell to make sure you get notifications when we drop new episodes. This is High Proof Ashes. I am one of your co-hosts, Duran, Mr. No Cool nickname, and to my left.
I am Jason JB Smoke, and we'll catch you on the next one. See y'all later.